Hi crew, hey Captn Doug again. I wanted to talk about night crawler harness setups for a minute. This is a big shout out to Ralph Smith. A lot of you guys know Ralph from being on the different forums around Saginaw Bay, and he's just a great dude in the community. So one of the tips that I took from Ralph, and that's using a one hook setup, and as well then just putting a small piece of crawler on there. When I say small piece, we're only talking maybe a 2-inch piece, then hooking it through the middle and just letting this thing flop back here, kind of like you would a Senko for bass fishing when you wacky rig them. These fish didn't go to new crawler school, so they don't know what a whole crawler looks like. They're looking for that scent. They're looking for a little bit of smell, a little sniff in the water. So it's been working great. I've got 2 of them set up here. This happens to be one of Dale Maggie's Real Rumors harnesses. They're powder coated, and actually it's his blade and milky beads. I tie up harnesses. I tie them up on 20-pound fluorocarbon. And then as well, I run this Sunline on my rods. I run this 20-pound. It's 15 thousandths diameter, which is only 2 thousandths difference than the trolling apps are. And then I use that for, actually I use my forward-facing sonar to pinpoint exactly how deep these things are running when I'm running them. And I can see all 4 rods out there on my sonar. I can see a fish come up behind them, see how they react to them. But the other thing I do is I put these beads on here. I've got an 8mm bead. That's a soft rubber bead right there. And then I've got an elongated bead here. That elongated bead slides down over my, let me move that back, slides down over my knot that you can see right here. You can see it better in the shade. And that protects that knot right there. And then the 8mm comes down on that as well, comes down to it. And that protects the eyes on the ends of my rods. People get excited when they're bringing fish in and they sometimes don't see that bright green or whatever we got back there. And they wind them right to the end, so that protects the eyes on them. And so that poochies, get them with Frank's Great Outdoors, and that's where you get these soft rubber beads at. They got different sizes, different styles. So anyway, and then the other thing is when I'm running a standard harness that I've tied up with 2 hooks, I tie them short here. I mean, this is only about maybe 1.5 inches. I don't want, sometimes when you buy them, they're 3-4 inches apart. Well, that whole face can come in there, get in the middle, or those little perch get in there and eat that thing off. Shorten those hooks up, shorten that length up, and as well, then back here, pinch that tail off about 1 inch behind that hook. If you got a full-size night crawler back there, those things stretch out in the water. You guys know that. And they got 4 or 5 inches of tail back there they're going to eat up before they get a hook in their face. If you pinch that off 1 inch behind that back hook, when they come up and get that, grab a bite of that thing, they've already got hardware in their face. So anyway, it just game on. So just a couple tips on what we do with our night crawler harnesses here. So guys, have a great day. Captn Doug on Walleye Xpress. Peace, tight lines, guys.